Wrestling fans, we wrap up our interviews with a two-time NWA heavyweight champion, a man who headlined across the country, overseas. I'm talking about Jack Brisco.
Scotty Bender, Jack Brisco, a true headliner, former NCAA champion, one of only two brother tag teams to win the NWA tag team titles with his brother Jerry Brisco. You know the other NWA tag team?
Steiners.
The Steiner brothers, that's right. Also, multiple-time Missouri champion back in the days when that was considered a stepping stone to the NWA world title. One of the most respected names in the business, Jack Brisco.
And an all-around great guy. Let's go to the interview. Jack Brisco. Wrestling fans, we're here at the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame 2005, and I'm with one of the 2005 inductees, NWA former champion, Jack Brisco. Jack, a lot of emotions running here tonight. You got to see some old friends. What does it mean to you to be inducted to the 2005 Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame?
Well, it's really a dream come true, and what makes it so special is so many of my friends were here to see it and also be a part of it. You know, there was so many of us inducted tonight, and a great class, you know, just Penny Banner and Jim the Animal Steele, and it was just a great group of guys, you know. I just had a great time, and it was great to see old friends again, but to be able to wear this ring is something I'll be able to wear for the rest of my life with a lot of pride, and something I worked all of my life for, and I just can't believe this night has come true.
It's been a banner year for you. In 2005, in April, you received the Lou Thez Award at the Cauliflower Alley.
Yes, I did, and that was another dream come true, because as a young man growing up, Lou Thez was my idol. He was actually the inspiration for me getting into pro wrestling. So it's just been a great year, and it's just been wonderful.
As much as an accomplished professional wrestler, you're also a very accomplished collegiate athlete. Talk a little bit about some of your accolades at the Oklahoma.
Well, I was very fortunate. In high school, I had a national champion from Oklahoma State as my high school coach. And he was an excellent coach, won Coach of the Year in Oklahoma several times. I was fortunate enough to win the Oklahoma Heavyweight State Championship 3 years in a row and got a full scholarship to Oklahoma State, where I attended there, and my coach there was a three-time national championship and coach of the NCAA Coach of the Year several times there. So I got great coaching all the way through, and while I was there, I got second in the Nationals my junior year, and I won the national championship my senior year. So I've been very fortunate in having some great coaches.
You were able to finally defeat Harley Race for the NWA Heavyweight Championship.
Well, it was really ironic because Lou Thez being my idol and everything, and after I met Lou, I wrestled him a couple times my rookie year, and he gave me quite a lesson on how to be a professional. And he told me in my rookie year, he said, someday, you're going to be world's champion. And then when it happened, I could not believe it. And even more ironic, like my third title defense was against Lou Thez in Memphis, Tennessee. And when the announcer says, and in this corner, the NWA heavyweight champion of the world, I expected them to say Lou Thez, and they said my name. And that's when I knew I was in trouble, and I had big shoes to fill.
What was your favorite era of professional wrestling? I mean, your career, spanned decades. When you look back, was there a certain time or, decade or time period that you really look back on that was your favorite as, being a professional wrestler?
Well, it would have to be, from 73 to 75. It was almost 3 years that I held the NWA champion, was a champion. I'd wrestled all my life and worked all my life to become world's champion. And there I was with the World's Heavyweight Championship belt for almost 3 years. So that's got to be my favorite.
The Briscoes and the Funks, kind of like the Hatfields and McCoys, big-time feud. I mean, people, you talk about, brothers feuds, you got to talk about the Funks and the Briscoes. How was it working with Terry and his brother Dory with your brother Gerald?
It was just like night and day. Terry was a wild, crazy type, and you could expect anything in barroom brawl, all sorts of things from Terry. But with Junior, you knew you was going to have to get down and wrestle. And our styles were very similar, and we ended up going an hour tie many times. So I knew it was a totally different thing.
Talk about a little bit about Ric Flair.
Ric Flair was the greatest, and he's just what you see on TV in real life. He's the nature boy, and he's just a wild and crazy guy, but was just one of the best athletes in the world, and just one of the toughest guys I've ever seen. And what a career he's had, and he's still having today.
You went over to Japan. You had lost the title to Giant Baba, but you ended up winning it back. You were big fan favorite over in Japan.
I just love Japan, and I had so much respect for the Japanese people. They were such hard-working people and such intelligent people. They're all highly educated and just so motivated. And to be able to visit their country and see how their country works and how hard they work, how hard they study, and especially the athletes trained so hard there. And it was just a great honor for me to go over there and wrestle, and to be able to tour Japan and wrestle all their top athletes. And they have some great athletes, some great wrestlers, and Japan has always had a history of great wrestlers. So anytime you can stay in the ring and wrestle a Japanese to a draw or defeat a Japanese, you've been doing a good job.
And you've been fortunate. I mean, your name will go down as one of the greats that have traveled to Japan and wrestled some of the greats. So it's definitely an honor to have been, over in Japan and wrestle. Now, let me talk about your brother Gerald. You guys held the NWA Tag Team Championship. Probably one of the most popular wrestlers in professional wrestling. You decided you turned your back on the fans. You abandoned the scientific way of wrestling. How was that type of change for you? Being cheered by the fans for so many years, and then actually, having the change, the fans boo you and your brother, as you held the NWA Tag Team Championship.
Well, we didn't really change our style hardly at all. We just happened to be wrestling Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood, two of the finest young wrestlers to come along in years, and the fans loved them because they were much younger than Jerry and I, and we didn't really change our style, but we were very aggressive. They had the world championship titles, and we wanted it, and we went after it, and we might have bent the rules or pushed the issue a little bit here or there, but we wanted one thing. We wanted to be world's heavyweight champions, and we accomplished that. And the fans took the side of Youngblood and Steamboat, and therefore it booed us, and it really didn't matter because we were kind of at the ends of our career, and we had our goals set on those world heavyweight belts, and it didn't matter anything, nothing else mattered.
Talking about the end of your career, you were on top of your game. You walked away. You weren't injured. There was no politics. You just decided you had enough. Talk about what was going through your head when you decided, to hang your wrestling boots up.
Well, I thought about it for a couple of years, and I've been an athlete all of my life, trained all of my life, and I'd been into professional wrestling for 20 years, and I was kind of getting tired and kind of missed my wife and my home, and I just thought it was the right time. And I've seen so many athletes stay too long and past their prime or retire, then come back out of retirement and continue where they really didn't belong. And I didn't want to be one of those people. So when I retired, I actually retired and never came back.
Jack, it's a very pleasure meeting you. And if you're ever in Odessa, Florida, your garage is out there, your auto body shop?
We live in a little town right outside of Tampa called Odessa, but the shop is in Tampa. And anytime you're down in Tampa, drop by Brisco Brothers Body Shop and visit with us. It's well worth the drive.
Jack Brisco fans, it's a pleasure. Thank you. Congratulations on being inducted to the 2005 Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. And it was a pleasure watching your career as I grew up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.